Alright, so this is more my speed. This is my jam. So this is Vector Man, and I'm just gonna play while we talk. There is some secret, like if you shoot the Sega logo 50,000 times, or jump into it, or do something weird, you get some secrets, but we're not gonna be able to do that. So, Blue Sky Software, and this game was released in what year?
Late 1995.
Oh, there it is. This was a response to Donkey Kong. Sega was like, oh shit, Nintendo does what Sega don't, so we need one of them 3D sprites converted down to 2D as well. So one thing I like about this is you can choose your difficulty. Wow, very 90s difficulty. Wicked. Insane. Lame. Yes, I'm going lame. I'm lame game. I'm sorry. Alright, so the plot line of this, if I remember correctly, and you, the notes over there, can correct me.
Yeah.
So it's sometime in the future, and this game is all about environmental propaganda. So, oh, there it is! In 2049, Earth's cities, forests, and ice caps are fouled with toxic sludge. Humanity has escaped to the stars, leaving mechanical bullshits to clean this up. That's right, kids. Humans are evil. That's a good message to teach kids. One powerful robot, Raster, oversees the cleanup through a planet-wide commnet. Commnet. Oh, man. An error happens, and he gets attached to a nuclear bomb and becomes Warhead and enslaves all the robots, and then when the humans come back, he's gonna enslave them, and it's up to Vector Man, just a garbage robot that was off-world, and here we go. We don't care about the fucking environmental propaganda. This is why we came out all fucked up as kids, because we were just inundated with propaganda. So, you can see it's the same type of deal. 3D render converted back down to 2D to compete with Donkey Kong. And Vector Man is made up of how many different sprites?
I think it was 32 different sprites. 23, I'm sorry, 23 individual sprites.
That's awesome. And as you go through the levels, you get these power-ups. The levels are not linear, so like Donkey Kong, the goal is to explore, to go up, to go down.
Although, to be fair, in Donkey Kong, there is a lot of exploration. You get lots of bonus rooms. Sometimes they're hidden so very well that you find them accidentally. You thought you were going to die, you fell into a hole and ended up being a secret room or a secret part of the level. But this kind of has this. The whole level is kind of open-ended, and it's very much more how you want to continue.
And I don't think this looks quite as good as Donkey Kong, but I like the world building better. I like playing as a robot that can shoot lasers rather than playing as a monkey. Alright, so what else do we have on production notes?
So, Blue Sky had previously worked with Sega. They had, in the 1990s, that's when they started working with
Well, this is why I love this game, because it's HD. I'm a drill. So yes, obviously Vector Man can morph into different things.
They made 2 Jurassic Park games with Sega. I don't know how successful they were, and I didn't have Sega who did.
I didn't play those.
They were kind of losing momentum as a company, like they needed to do something because at the time the 32X and the Saturn,
Which both failed.
And here is the difference between Sega and Nintendo and why it kind of didn't do so well as a company after the 90s, is they were split on what they wanted to do. Sega Japan wanted to focus on Saturn, the new system. Sega America wanted to focus on Genesis and the games and Genesis and to make that profitable. So there was a split in the company. So they were kind of waffling on what to do. So it kind of, they split their focus. Nintendo tends to not do that once you had Shigeru Miyamoto at the head, really being like, this is what we're going to do.
Okay, so this runs at 60 frames a second.
And, originally I was doing my research on it, and originally all the characters and the sprites were spheres, so everything was very spherical, and they kind of deemed it too abstract. It was hard to delineate what was what, and everything just kind of looked like blobby shapes, so they redesigned all of this.
So this is boss battle, and this is obviously the easiest boss because it's the first boss.
I will take a note. Do you see the moving flags in the background?
Yes.
They took real footage from the top of their building, and flags at the top of their building. So that footage is how their flags move in the wind.
That's awesome. Again, very 90s. He's doing the Vector Man peace sign. And at the end of each level you get, I did not collect enough photons to get a lot of bonuses, but I did it. In between levels, you get these kind of bonus where Vector Man has morphed into a train, and oh, I did. There it is. Alright, so I'm just having a blast playing here. I will let my lovely wife talk about our notes, and I'll chime in if there's anything.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the composer here, his name is John Holland. He wanted a techno kind of soundtrack. Apparently was inspired by bands like Orbital, I've never heard of them, Kraftwerk, I've never heard of them, but The Prodigy I have heard of. So he wanted something rhythmic, almost danceable.
So let's listen for a second. Yep, you can hear it, and that's one of the things that when I was a kid, again, seeing that, like Donkey Kong, look at that water, like that just looks awesome.
He was quoted as saying it was difficult to work with the sound chip.
Because the Sega Genesis has a crappy FM sound chip that, compared to the Super Nintendo, sucks.
Just, hearing that difference, hearing that water level, that aquatic theme in that water level, apparently that took 3 weeks to compose and just sounded so much richer than what the Sega was able to do.
But I'll show you what you can do in Donkey Kong here in a minute.
This wasn't released in Japan for 5 years after it originally launched, and even then it was only in compilation.
Yep,
Not
because,
really sure why.
well, Sega Japan had no faith in it. Now, I'm a bomb! And it gets even better, and I remember when I showed you this for the first time, you almost vomited because, I'm getting some slowdown there. I'm a bomb, then I was Vector Man, now I'm a fish, and I can't keep track of this crap.
Yes, it felt very frenetic, felt too fast-paced for me. Like a lot of Sega Genesis games, they tend to move very fast for me, which is funny because Donkey Kong can get that flow, and you can just, it feels smooth and flowy and you go really fast. This was too much for the process, which I don't know, maybe that's just the music.
What else do we have on this?
At the end of its first year, it sold 500,000 copies.
So, well behind Donkey Kong.
Yes, I think from, 500,000, Donkey Kong Country sold 900,000. But to be fair, this was not released in Japan. So if you're looking at that was worldwide, that 900,000 copies was probably worldwide. I don't know exactly why I didn't look, but I think it was worldwide. So this didn't get as large of a release. To be fair, I mean, my preference, I think Donkey Kong is a far superior game. I think it looks prettier, I think it sounds prettier.
I'll give you the sound, I think that this, and I'll give you the looks, but just the gameplay for me was and the world building is so much better.
That's where we're different. I did not enjoy playing this. I absolutely love Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I did not enjoy playing as a rotund monkey.
But this was really well received.
I would much rather be a robot that can morph into a bomb and blow up this cabin.
Yeah, this was very, very well received at the time. It got incredible reviews.
Slow down right there.
Yes. It's considered a hidden gem of the Sega Genesis system.
Alright, anything else on this before I give my final thoughts? So this, it sold well, it did accomplish its mission, it competed fairly successfully with Donkey Kong, it kept the Genesis alive for kept the Genesis alive for a couple of years. There was a sequel, either the following year or the year after, but at that point the Genesis...
You are correct, it was 1996, so it was a year later.
Yep. And it was rushed, and it's still a good game, but it's not anywhere near as good as this. It was literally a last-ditch. Sega had already decided that they were done with the Genesis, and that barely got approved and made. And it was very rushed in the final months of the system to get one last push. But in that game, we'll do a full review on that, but that game focuses more, which is why I don't like it as much. It focuses more on it's got a nature theme, whereas this has a more futuristic tech theme. And the one thing I don't like about this game is later on they repeat levels. They will have the same level, just different. Oh, there you go. Just different backgrounds and different colors, and yeah, that I do not appreciate. Donkey Kong does it a little bit, but this game is really, really bad with it. Like, you will see that first level that I played 5 more times in this game. This is one of my favorite levels. But Vector Man, I would give it still to this day a 9 out of 10. So if you can, and it's very affordable to pick up in a shop or on Amazon loose, it's still pretty cheap, like $15, $20 maybe. And that's all we got for today.